The reason that I paint what I paint specifically in regard to this body of work, and people ask me this all the time, why snakes? Is because of where and how I grew up. It was pretty out of the box. And I have this snake tattoo on my arm for this same reason. This is a rattlesnake. And people are like, why on earth do you have, that is so weird, that is so bizarre. They either love it or they're totally repulsed by it. And for me, this is the most endearing. Like if I came upon a snake, I would be like, oh my God, let me hold it, let me touch it, I love it so much, right? These are some of my favorite animals on the planet. I would never own one because I love them so much. I would be like, no, don't cage it, you know? But as a kid, I grew up from the time that I was born all through high school in the Angeles National Forest and in a 950 square foot cabin that was stone on the outside, half log on the inside, dirt yard with pine trees and pepper trees and eucalyptus trees, no neighbors as far as I could see, just out in the middle of in a canyon with a creek running through our backyard. Like quite literally, you step outside our back porch and there's the creek. And my parents bought this house when they got married, when they were, I think, 18, and with help from my grandmother. And it was the most idyllic and bizarre and fabulous upbringing in the world. And I had no idea it was out of the box until I was maybe 9 or 10, and you start to realize these things. And so every day for school, we would drive 8 miles out of the canyon to school. And at the end of 30 minutes for elementary school and then 45 minutes for high school, and then drive all the way back home into the canyon. And snakes, my dad would find snakes all the time under our wood pile or in the just grass or whatever. And when they were rattlesnakes, he would catch them and relocate them just further away from the house. And if they were gardener snakes or king snakes. Every once in a while it would be a king snake, which was really exciting because they were big and their patterns are beautiful. Then we would get to hold them and, So there were coyotes all the time. Sometimes a few times a year there were bears. There were always mountain lions and cougars and, it was absolutely phenomenal. And these are the experiences, the memories, and then now the symbology it's ingrained in my memory, in my DNA. It's who I am, and I can't not paint these things. It's all that I want to paint. It's what comes up and through when I want to express any kind of emotion or convey a message. That's how it comes up and out. And it has to be because that's all that I ever knew as a kid. And now my dream was always to live by the beach, always. We would drive to Malibu on the weekend and bring these like big coolers and a blanket and an easy up, and we would like take a nap midway through the day. I mean, we would go early in the morning and we would stay until dusk. Like it was a full day thing to get to the beach, right? It was like an hour and a half from our house, but I would go and just like, someday I want to live here. It was my dream, and now I do. And yet still it's like this landscape is what I paint. So this wildness, this untethered, untamed, raw, visceral. There's something about that I never want to lose. I paint it so that I remember what it was like to be naked half the time, drinking from the garden hose, and never having to answer to anyone or come back until it was dark. We know what it was like when there were no cell phones and you just go. And I was riding my BMX bike and hiking in the mountains, and that was that until I came home at night. And I never want to lose that wild child. She's in there. And I paint what I paint so that I will always remember her.